So I found what is probably the perfect electric guitar, PRS DGT core model. So why am I selling it? Right, so first of all, I'm just going to tell you about these guitars in case you don't already know the sort of details of them. It's a David Grissom tremolo model. I don't know much about David Grissom's playing at all. I've heard a bit, and he's a really good player, but I don't know much about him. But this guitar ticks pretty much every box for an electric guitar for me. If I just go through the features it has, it's got what I think is probably the perfect guitar neck. I always say my PRS NF3's got the perfect guitar neck, and it's slightly different to this. I'd find it difficult to choose between them as which one is more perfect. I think the feel of this, the sort of finish on this one is a bit more like a Gibson kind of lacquered finish, and it's smoother than any Gibson, and it's got a really nice smooth feel to it. In that sense, it's better than the NF3. I think the actual shape of the NF3 one and maybe the radius, I'm not sure if they're different, but that's got something that other guitars don't have for me. Anyway, it's got an amazing neck, very similar to my 335 neck. It's got brilliant machine heads. I don't like the look of the I think they're phase 3 PRS tuners. I don't like the look of them from there. I like the look of the open back ones like that, but I'm not sure about that. But they work brilliantly. My NF3's also got ones like that. It's got a PRS tremolo, which is kind of the perfect tremolo. It stays in tune, works brilliantly, just amazing tremolo. These two humbuckers sound absolutely brilliant. Just can't fault them. You can split them and they sound brilliant split as well. In fact, I probably use them split more than I use them as full humbuckers. It's light, this one. It's not the lightest guitar I've got, but it's pretty close. I think it's about 7.5 pounds, this one, and I bought this particular one because it's so light. And this one's been played. It's got a few little marks and a couple of little knocks on it. So it's not what they call a case queen. It has actually been played, but it's also been looked after, I think. So it's an amazing guitar. So why am I selling it? Well, I think what it is partly is that it's a guitar that does everything, and I was looking for a guitar that does everything. So I've had this search for the last couple of years for a guitar that I can just use for everything, use for all of my lessons, all my gigs and everything. And I just wanted that one guitar that could do it all. And this is probably the best guitar I've ever played for that. I mean, the Sir Alt T that I had, that was a brilliant guitar. Sound-wise, that's probably my favourite guitar I've owned. That was brilliant, but didn't have the tremolo, didn't quite have the splitting pickup options that this has got. It did have some. So I think overall, yeah, this is a better guitar, and this is much more comfortable to play. The shape with the cutout bit there, and just the overall feel of this guitar is I prefer to the Alt T. Anyway, so it's a guitar that does everything. Now, I don't really need a guitar that does everything, and after a couple of years of trying these different ones and buying and selling different ones and finding one, I've then decided, do I need a guitar that does everything? I don't think I do, because I've got quite a lot of guitars. Now, I recently got this, which is a Gibson Les Paul BFG Gary Moore signature. And sort of comparing these two guitars, in a sense, this has sort of replaced the DGT for me. I mean, it hasn't really, but it's the most recent guitar that's arrived here, and this is the one that's now going. So it doesn't compare really, but it's got something about it, this DGT, that you kind of really want to pick it up and play it. Something about the look of it. The PRS does have that, a lot more than most PRS guitars, but this has really got it. And this is more kind of raw, I suppose, is the word, and it's more basic. It's a bit like having a nice telly or something. It's just very basic. The P90 sounds just amazing. The humbucker is very good, and there's something raw about it that this hasn't got. This is way more refined, and this is like a perfect guitar, and this isn't at all. I mean, this is far from a perfect guitar. I'm going to make more videos about this. There's a lot of things I don't like about this, but it's still just a cool guitar. Sounds really good. It's harder to play than the PRS. Everything about it's worse in a way. The sound of that P90, I think, it matches, or it's as good as any pickup I've ever had on a guitar. I think it's really good. So I've also got another Telecaster coming, and I'll make some videos on that when it's here. It's not here yet, and that will probably be similar to the BFG, just a very basic stripped down guitar, an old style guitar, no frills, does one or two things, not everything like this. But then if I've got both of those, that covers what this does. Now you probably think I'm mad, and I think I'm mad as I'm saying this, because why not just have one guitar that does everything? So if you're watching this, you're probably like me, and you're just into guitars. And I'm into guitars, and I like playing them, I like buying them, I like deciding that I've had enough of one and it's going to sell, it's going to go, and I'm just going to get rid of it. I like looking at other ones online. I quite like the gas thing and the constant search for other guitars. So having one guitar that does everything isn't really necessarily what I should have. This is what I've decided recently. So I'm going to have different guitars. Now the other point about this is that I bought this second hand. It's obviously second hand now, and it's worth a lot less money than a new one. But a new one of these is well over £4,000 in the UK. Now I'm not saying it's not worth it, because I think compared to the prices of other guitars, I think it is worth it. Yeah, it's a lot of money for a new guitar, but they are so good, so I think it is worth it. But that is a lot of money. Well, what I paid for the BFG, what I paid for the telly that's on its way here, which is an American standard from a few years old, that I think is going to be a nice one, but we'll see. A video will be coming soon on that one. What I've paid for that and what I paid for the BFG combined is going to be quite a bit less money, I think. Yeah, quite a bit less money than I'm going to be selling this for. So in my mind, this is going, the BFG and a Telecaster are replacing it. That's how I'm justifying it to myself. One other point to make, which is obviously this is all just personal to me and my playing preferences and my guitar preferences and what they do for me, is that even though this guitar is perfect and it does everything, I have used it on 2 gigs, I think. I haven't used it on many, but I've used it on a couple. But after that, I've done a few more gigs using my trusty old NF3 PRS. And every time I play that, I've used that guitar almost exclusively for my gigs since I got it, which is probably 5-6 years. I've done a few gigs with things like this or other ones, but mostly I've used that PRS NF3. And every single time I use that live, there'll be at least 1 or 2 moments where I think, God, this guitar sounds good. And that didn't happen with this. It hasn't happened with any other guitar I've owned except for my Music Man Albert Lee. It used to happen with that quite regularly. I'd be doing a gig and thinking, God, that sounds good. But the NF3, that's the exception to everything I say about PRS. If I say anything negative about PRS, like they're a bit perfect and a bit boring because of it, the NF3 is just a separate thing. I'll maybe make more videos on that. I've done quite a few. So if you are interested in an amazing, perfect guitar, ask me if this is available. It might not be, but you can always ask. And if not, you do see these for sale. They do hold their money. I'm selling this one cheap, really, because of the few little knocks on it. And I got it quite cheap because of that as well. So, it's not worth as much as a perfect one. For me personally, I'd prefer one that's not perfect, because then I'm not worrying about using it. But yeah, if you're after a perfect guitar, PRS DGT, the core model. The SEs I haven't played, and they're meant to be really good, and I'd like to play one of those at some point, and who knows, maybe I'll end up with one of those one day. I'll probably end up with one of these, almost certainly. The person that might be buying this, or that's expressed an interest in buying this, used to have one. I had another inquiry yesterday about this from someone who used to have one. So I think it's one of those guitars that you get rid of and regret it and then want another one. That's going to be me. Watch this space. PRS DGT. Amazing, perfect guitar. But not for me at the moment. This was just a chatting one today. I'll put some links in the description to my proper sort of full demo video I did of this, and my first impressions video when it first arrived. Okay, thanks.